juice out of it, or something you had got to grind something hard. Obviously, we use different types of blades. So looking at this, normally people can say it's a wee machine, wee blender. So it depends on the material, what kind of medicine you're making it. According to that, the blender machine has been used, and that's how it's been operated. Now these 3 machines are in that machine, and this table basically we use to put all the ingredients which you need, and then according to the amount you put and grind it out. And this is very dry and clean area also. Okay, next slide. Now, the dispensing room is basically, I was explaining that we have the quarantine area where, only authorized people can go in it. If someone is not authorized and try to get into access, they can be taken out easily, and you're actually going against the law of the company and of the SOP, whatever is been whatever the procedure that factory has created. Now in quarantine area, what goes on is that before the pharmaceutical technologists involved with their job, like making the product or tablets, anything, they require all the ingredients. Before we cook, we need the recipe. So we have the recipe, but how much we need and everything we need, that will be measured here. Exactly what's going to be needed for your medicine. Say if you're making a Tylenol, and in Tylenol there are API and whatever, so different ingredients that you're going to need. Now that amount of API or active material which is going to be used in Tylenol will be weighed here by the QC department or by the selected person, and that will be given to the technologists. Many times what happens is that many product that comes inside the factory in a raw material, like before we go into the, before it goes to the bulk area, it comes in, and now we have to know if it's properly labeled or not, or if it's the weight which it came in is a proper manner or not. Then this is also dispensing room has been used for that, and it goes to the quarantine area. From quarantine it goes to bulk, and bulk it comes to the dispensing room. Bulk store. This is what I was talking about.
Okay. Bulk store. In the bulk store, we using where all supply and raw material we put, and we keep usually large amount of, because we have to be in the bulk store, we have to be organized properly. So please search a way organized to easily find out, and all products should be labeled to easily recognize. So you can see here all product has a label, so you can find out easily, and they have organized very well, arrangement properly up and down, so it's not fall down or something, it's not hurt if you walk around. So
safety.
that's it. Yes.
Beautiful. Very good. Very good.
Quarantine area. I think this I already explained. Quarantine area is most authorized. Obviously, this is not from our area, so we have very small room for that. And this is very restricted area. Most of the time, what happens, the documentation which has been done, or something which product came, it shouldn't be released before it's been checked or it's been certified that okay, this is the material or ingredients which we're gonna need. And this is what it, like exactly everything is done here, and then it goes to the bulk area, and then it continues the whole process. This is the quarantine area. That's why it says segregations, different segregations. Most of the time the product like hazardous and non-hazardous, like something which is not to be used in a material in a manufacturing area, and something which need to be in the sanitation area, obviously it's been separated. This is where everything takes place.
Okay, here's your storage room where obviously you store all the raw materials, the products, and samples. Depending on the temperature, you need to. Okay, this is the room where you have to keep a controlled temperature, because if you don't, it might mess up the product, and then we can't really do anything with that, because with cross-contamination, it could destroy the whole product, and then we have to redo it, and if that's a lot of money, we don't want to lose a lot of money, right? And this is, depending on some pharmaceutical companies, is where they test, we look to the IOQ and PQ to determine the correct temperature to keep everything in place.
This is after when your product is done. Now it's ready to go to market. Before that, they store it in such a temperature so you messed up of the product, or it's not mislabeled. Everything's been checked here again. So this is the storeroom which we don't have it. Actually, we make it, we drink it, we leave. So we don't have really this storeroom here. So capsulation is actually after you have your materials for the samosa. Probably you heard of it. Samosa is something, that triangle things that we eat. It's famous in the market. You have your meat or you have your vegetable, whatever you're making, obviously needs to be coated, right? So same thing with the medicine. We have all the substance. We have antibiotic, whatever gel form or in a dosage form, everything that needs to be shelled so it looks at least beautiful for the patient who takes it. Sometimes comes in a purple color, sometimes in a pink color. So this is kind of medicine still feel liquid, so we're putting the clothes on it. So this is where it happens. Capsulation room, where we put all the shell, tablet and shell.
Coating, I'm talking about coating room. Tablet coating can be subdivided into different types. Sugar coating, for example, provides a combination of distillation taste, mostly smoothing of the tablet, pore coloring and modified release. Film coating, on the other hand, is usually a single stage process and easily adaptable for controlled release form.
Now these are the machine which we use for the coating. Coating is basically putting a flavor into it. Back in days, we remember, when the nurse used to walk inside the hospital and tell the patients to take these tablets and stuff. What patient used to do, they put it in their mouth, and after when she's gone, spit it on the side, which we find very normal. But now it's a law that our teacher was telling us that now nurse has to stay until the patient doesn't take it. What were the reasons? Most of the time people were not something they don't want to drink the medicine to cure themselves. The reasons were they tasted very bad. Tasted something which they never desired to drink. Medicine is something they used to think very bad. So what they do here is putting a flavor into it. And then what it's doing is that probably sugar coating or making it sweet or making, how we find multivitamins today. Before it used to come in a capsule form, now it comes in a chocolate form. So babies or children are happy to take this multivitamins, chewing and all that. So this is what is in this machine that we do here.
Here the drying room, it is like a controlled room on controlled pressure and controlled temperature. We do in the dryer, there is airflow temperature control must be uniform. If the dryer has a 4-layer air circulation, then the product on the top will become drier than the product on the bottom. So to make it should be controlled.
The sanitation rooms are obviously the sanitized the product, and depending, there should be an SOP in the sanitation room to prevent any contamination and to clean everything. There's usually 3 main types of sanitization: type A, type B, type C. Where type A, same product, same potency; type B, same product, different potency; and type C, different product, different potency. Depending on the company, it tells you how to clean the product. Well,
This is why we put this picture especially to show it's something, every room you won't find these. When you're washing the room, like the brother has explained, John was saying that type C is something when you're making a product, which ingredient product is totally different and its potential is totally different. So the wall, everything has to be washed out totally before any contaminations with the new product takes place. So when you wash that, obviously in the room is not facilitated, but this sanitation has to be, so all the water has been drained. It's not something we find in our washroom. This is something in such that, when water comes, it sucks it down, like we find in many other, like airplane and all this kind of place, like railway station or fast, when you flush it out, how the things just sucks it out. This is kind of sanitation when we have it. So this is totally different than what other rooms that we have. Okay, this is something extra. Plan feature, this is in a hallway we find, like, how the switch are not like the way switch we have in the room, which are, it says outside. It's something, it's already been covered. So if you have to wash it, obviously no electric shock or anything can goes on. Or no any other space has been kept, so the water doesn't enter inside or penetrate through. The air ventilations It's something, you know, we need it. So we don't, this is actually, we have it, and it's normally known as a havoc, and it keeps about 99.98%. It cleans the air and makes the air so clean that it's easy to breathe and easy to work in it.